Tonight on Podcast Them Down, give me fuel, give me fire, give me $7 waters.
Podcast them down.
Hail, Metal Nation, it is I, Tim. That is Doc Savage. At Seasons 52. And as always, Doug. And I'm Tim. I forgot if I said that. This is Podcast Them Down, and we are going to review the Metallica concert at Northwest Stadium in the northwest of east of Washington, D.C., in Maryland. They played. We're recording this the night after they played, which might be the fastest we've ever turned around a concert review.
It's really good.
Yeah, and I totally forgot how to do this because after the last batch of episodes, I got incredibly sick, and then once I got better, I got incredibly sick again, and and after last night, I might be incredibly sick a third time.
Well, luckily for you, Tim, I've listened to a lot of the concert reviews, and I think usually how they work is you just like take your foot off the gas and let Mike do the driving.
Oh,
So
Mike has been to more concerts, so there's going to be more Mike concert reviews coming up, but he didn't take any planes to get to them this time.
Okay, well, wait, you took a plane to get to MGM Grand? That seems like a waste of money.
No, he took a plane to go to Devin Townsend the Moth. But we didn't take a plane. We didn't take a plane to go to Northwest Stadium to see Metallica, and I think we did the math. We saw a quarter of Pantera.
Yeah.
And we missed Suicidal Tendencies. So
Pantera.
No, we're doing the math. All right, check this out. So Pantera, 2 surviving members, right? But they're not the important surviving members. They're not the important members of Pantera. So together they equal 1/4 of Pantera. And really, we only saw half their set. So we saw 1/8 of Pantera, and it was about 1/8 as good as Pantera probably used to be. But let's back up because we didn't take a plane there.
We did not.
It was raining and cold in DC, which is like a weird thing post Memorial Day. So traffic was absolutely fucked. Now, Northwest Stadium is where the Commanders suck. Mm-hmm. And
although not as much as they used to.
Yeah, rebrand will do that. Maybe. Am I right, Cleveland Guardians?
Oh, I'll hear him. I'll hear him talking.
I don't either. Well, so it is, it's east of the city, and that side of the Beltway is always, that's where 50 goes, and it's where, if you're passing straight through, they say stay on that side of DC, and yeah, so it's just miserable traffic, and we're coming from the north, right? Because we're essentially ball Marines. So, we doing the planning. It turned out to be faster to drive to the end of the metro and ride an hour to get 1.5 miles away from the stadium and then hike than it was to just drive straight to the stadium and pay $50 for parking.
Yeah.
So, it's I can't express enough how awful the location of the stadium is, and there's nothing around it at all.
Pretty bad. There's no escaping.
Yeah, and it makes
people rooting against Maryland. It really bothers me. William Donald Schaefer paid for that.
Hey, what was a better place?
Really.
You know what was a better place was Cap Center, which is where I saw Metallica the first time, and it was only like 2 miles away from Northwest Stadium. So
that's a good point.
Yeah, it's like, and there's stuff around the Cap Center. There is nothing around. What if they were calling it US Air Arena when I went?
US Air Arena.
28 years ago. That's when I saw Metallica the first time, and that's also where Heavy Metal Parking Lot was filmed. But that's a future episode. When we get to that tour in Judas Priest. But no, we're talking about Metallica.
Everything is chronological.
That's right. So, so that was all. It makes you appreciate Baltimore because they jammed the football stadium downtown right next to Camden Yards. So like there's parking and things to do. And if you're going to walk a mile and a half, at least there's something to look at while you're walking. And there's
slightly more character for a mid-90s football stadium.
Good point. And when I was in the Commanders Failure Bowl, I was looking around and like, I know this is going to like come off like heresy, but I saw Ramstein in Philadelphia at the Link, right? And that stadium is so much better. And it's like essentially the same shape. It's just like, I didn't feel forlorn when I was in Lincoln Financial Field than I was at Northwest Stadium. And another thing, it used to be FedEx Field. You know what FedEx is? What the hell is Northwest?
It's a credit union.
Well, like, why don't they call it Northwest Credit Union?
That went out of business 15 years ago.
It's not that. It's not that one.
Well, they wasted their naming rights if they're not going to tell you what it is. There is no indication whatsoever of what Northwest is.
I mean, they had lots of logos that said Northwest.
Yeah, but like, what is it? You know, like it must be very regional because I don't see it. So anyway,
I'm sure there's some in like Northern Virginia somewhere.
Oh, well, who gives a fuck about them?
The Redskins? I mean, sorry, the Commanders.
They can keep it. All right. So we finally get there and having hiked in the rain, that's when my feet got wet.
Oh yeah.
And they stayed wet until I got home at like 1 a.m. So, yeah, so that was fun. Anyway, the walk up, there was one guy selling a bootleg t-shirts and they looked pretty good. And I was like, really? I'm going to wait. Now I'll come back to this because I wanted to get a shirt from the show. Right. So we get inside, the merch lines are like ludicrously long. I was like, I'll go later. They had like, unlike Dream Theater, like you can't go wrong with any of Metallica's shirts. Dream Theater's merch is always just like crap. Just like, here's some assets from Adobe stock we put together under our logo. But no, Metallica had like everything had a skull. It was great. So luckily, even with the traffic and all that, I did want to be able to say that I've seen Pantera. So we saw Pantera. What a crock of shit that was.
Oof.
They played. Okay, it's no debate that their best album is Cowboys from Hell, and it's no debate that Phil Anselmo is a shitty vocalist who can't sing.
Mm-hmm.
So I should check if they played anything good in the first half because like I said, we got there halfway through, but they the half their set was Vulgar Display of Power, which is a shitty album, and most of the rest of their set was Far Beyond Driven, which is another shitty album.
Yeah, wasn't that great?
Yeah, so like they played 5 Minutes Alone, you know, and people were broing out. They played Mouth for War, which is probably the only decent song past Cowboys from Hell. So they played Walk and everyone broed out. It was just overrated song, overplayed. They did part of Domination and they slowed it down and that didn't work. And then they did like a quick tribute thing to the Abbott brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And accompanying that was a playback of the first half of Cemetery Gates. And instead of like continuing to play it, they just stopped and played 5 Minutes Alone. It's like they just tease you with how good they used to be. So
yeah, that was kind of weird and disappointing, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
No metal magic.
Like, no power metal, no. Man, but I thought it was coming. I thought the riff was coming. You know, when Cemetery Gates get heavy. So it's like there's a whole build up and then
pretty good simulation. You
know, it's like it like reached the thing where the guitar is about to pew and then so all right. So now that all the bros have turned off the podcast, they won't hear me when I say that Pantera's set didn't fully piss me off until Phil Anselmo ruined it after they said, like, all right, we're here from Metallica. Thank you, good night. Then they ended the set with, let's make this shit fucking official. This set, this gig. And then he poorly sang the end of Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah, that struck me as entirely weird.
Yeah, well, that's because it's shitty and people are like, don't know what to say to, like Phil Anselmo probably was like, I have a great idea. And everyone's like, oh, please tell me more, you know?
Everyone's like,
no one says no to him.
That's your idea?
Like, if you don't agree with me, I'm going to take 5 minutes alone with you and you're going to walk. Cause I'm fucking hostile. Yeah, it was just like as if this Pantera, the real Pantera, who's not as good as the Pennsylvania Pantera tribute Pantera, as if it wasn't bad enough, they also don't play anything good. They did close with Cowboys from Hell, and that was all right.
It's fine. It's just like, all right.
So, this would be a good time to talk about the stage. So, imagine a donut, a big flat black donut. That's what the stage is. So they had the Metallica snake pit in the middle that they didn't let people in until Metallica. And then you could like gather around it, right? So Zakk Wylde, who, by the way, didn't play any of Dimebag's like signature guitars. He played his shitty guitars that, you know, they kind of look like half an SG and half of a Flying V. And they're his brand, but you're in Pantera. Play those Dean guitars that I don't like either, you know. but
at least be in character.
But it was weird because he's walking around and like he's kind of like playing down to the audience because he's like way above them. But his posture and delivery made it look like he's playing for toddlers at a birthday party.
I mean, he was playing for Metallica fans.
He's like, I'm so cool. I'm your Uncle Zach. You know, Rex, the bassist, just seemed like counting the minutes until he can go sit down again.
And when does Metallica get on here?
And Charlie Benetante, the Anthrax drummer, he's drumming for Pantera. Like, he's a very good drummer, but he's like, he didn't quite get the grooves correct. You know, it's hard to explain, but like the feeling wasn't there that I get when you listen to Vinny. So,
how long has he been playing with this Pantera?
Ever since they reformed, you know?
Oh, wow. So it's not like he's like a new addition to this tour or something.
I just think Vinnie Paul's style is hard to mimic. That's my guess.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
You know, because if Charlie can't do it, who's gonna be able to do it? You can get Mike Mangini, but then it'll sound like a drum machine.
Mm-hmm.
The whole band is really annoying, but they definitely have a sound that only works for them. And as the listeners know, I have more sympathy for groove metal probably than the other panelists.
Probably true.
The twatchers know, they can see. There's the donut that I was talking about.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
To get a sense of scale, right there is Kirk. So, you know, it's a little blurry in my mind. Let me fix this. All right, so, Metallica.
Where you go?
So, I'm here. Where are you? See, I'm right here.
Oh, hi.
So I went again. We were up in the 300 level.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes up to 400.
Because we're fucking big shits.
Yeah.
Big shits in the toilet.
The toilets were nice. I'll give them that. They were out of paper towels.
Oh, yeah, that was a problem. I had to wipe my hands on my pants.
Well, it's only a problem if you wash your hands.
Oh, it's just all right.
Or pee on your hands. But so I went to look at the merch upstairs, and they had like a line that snaked around into the thing. I was like, I'm gonna go check out the merch. Well, it turns out that where the line started was not the start of the line. It was the end of the gap, so people could walk through. The line was fucking. So I didn't buy anything. I really wanted to, Shirts were $45. They had some kind of jersey for $100. So they didn't price gouge as much as you'd expect for merch. So that's good. And like I said, all the choices were pretty good. They had posters that sold out immediately, like because Metallica does a special poster for every show. The Landover one is in Landover, Maryland. And James kept going. I'm jumping ahead. James was like, DC, Maryland, Landover, what do we call it? That kind of thing. So,
but Pantera notably kept saying Landover. I was like, these guys don't give a shit where we are.
Right. So, beer prices, $18.50 for a large domestic beer.
Well, also, I should point out that that's without a convenience fee, because I believe I purchased 3 beers and I think the total was $72.
Hey, 72.
Oh, maybe that was purposeful.
Well, we also bought premium beers.
I don't know,
which cost $1 more.
Oh, that's true.
By LA standards, that sounds okay.
Yeah, like for Doug, that's like a 1 beer at like a Shakey's Pizza.
Yeah, but you're in the Maryland.
Things are meant to cost anymore.
You're in the Maryland suburbs, though.
Yeah,
that's what I don't get. They also were selling a double cocktail. That's all it said on the menu for $30 fucking dollars.
I mean, that sounded pretty good for me, but I was talked down, voted down.
Could have had it. I don't care. How about this? You give me $30 and I'll give you a double cocktail.
All right, done. Deal. I'll see you at your house.
All right. Well, first I need the $30 to buy some liquor.
Okay, I'll Venmo you.
So, long break. Took a while. Metallica came on a bit late compared to the other shows, it appeared. But they also stopped the music once, but then the intro tape didn't play. So then they started up the music. It's like I would be remiss if I didn't mention that our dad came.
Uh-huh.
And he 28 years ago, he came with me to see Metallica the first time. And now he's still there. And that's great. And Dave eventually came. So I did not ask Dave to be part of this episode, but he also went to see them at Lane Stadium in Blacksburg, Virginia, at Virginia Tech. So
you had the whole crew, the whole damn crew.
Well, all of Fade to Black was there.
Yep.
Our guitarists were down there, right around there, maybe. I don't know.
That sounds about right.
And our drummer was a few sections over from us in the 300s, because the rhythm section is hot shit. So
yeah,
that's why we're up high and they're down there. So Metallica's set. So they did the AC/DC song, then they did the Ecstasy of Gold, and they were playing back stuff from the movie, from Good, the Bad, and the Ugly on the screens. Now you can see the bottom of the screens in my shot here.
Yep.
And so they basically looked like giant LED soda cans.
That's a very good description.
Yeah, there's 4 of them around the stage, and that's also where they hung all the rigs for the lights and the line arrays.
And there's also, I'm not going to spoil it yet, Tim, but there's a surprise inside.
There is a surprise inside. 2 surprises, in fact.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yep. So they came out, and it was I really applaud their set choices here. Mm-hmm. It was a very solid set. Even the new stuff was good choices,
and it was
in my opinion. Now that being said, I'm less critical of the newer stuff than most people, the casual fans, would be. What were you saying?
Well, I think that not only was it the set choice was good, but they integrated the songs in a good way, where I don't think there was, there were definitely clusters of similar songs together, but I feel like the transitions were good, even though I think they had they had long transitions, but I think they were still all pretty good transitions.
Yeah, well, the long transitions, well, all right, you can see here Lars's drums are right to my side here. Well, back up here by my shoulder, they had another drum kit. So quarter way through the set, they would lower the one drum set, open up the next trap door, and bring up another drum set. The band also slowly made their way around the donut. So at any given time, they were all on like one half of the donut. So the people down got what seemed to be like equal time with each band member. There were mics all over the place, pedals that we knew things were about to start because they uncovered each one in sequence. So, let's see what else. Some of them were Rob's wah pedals, which I thought was like from way high up where we were. I couldn't tell. What if they got the wrong wah pedal? That'd be funny.
That's
there were mics pointing inside towards the snake pit. There were mics pointing away towards the rest of the crowd. Yeah, so there was just like they could go in any direction at any time. Okay, so the ecstasy of gold fades out, and then
we should mention that
right as they start creeping death, that's when Dave walks up.
So Dave actually entered the section as if he were a member of Metallica.
It was like perfect timing. It was amazing. He's like,
it was amazing.
Hey guys, not really.
All I know is there's a huge pop from the crowd, and then Dave is next to me.
Yeah, so he got there just in time. He took the same way we did.
Yeah.
Well, like, let me explain real quick. Like, this place is like 3:00. If DC was a clock, this place is around 3:00.
You know, the northwest area. Oh,
we left from the 1-ish o'clock. So, but to get there, you have to go into the city and change.
Although to be fair, I came.
So it seems like a dumb idea, but I didn't have to sit in all that traffic. So.
Oh, I said I came from 9:00, but that's neither here nor there.
Right, well, no, it's over there.
Yeah.
He pre-planned, but they still charged him for event parking.
Yeah, it was only $15. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah. So,
oh, spoiler alert.
So, here's the set straight through: Creeping Death, Room the Bell Tolls, Leper Messiah, Memory Remains, Lux Eterna, If Darkness Had a Son, Bathroom Break.
No,
that's the Kirk and Rob doodle.
Be nice.
Kirk and Rob doodle. So they
Is that what it's actually called on setlist.fm?
Yes. The Day That Never Comes, Fuel, Orion, Nothing Else Matters, Sad But True, One, Seek and Destroy, Master of Puppets, Enter Sandman, and then lots of thank yous. So that was the set. Very well chosen. That breaks down to 3 Master of Puppets, 3 Black Album, 2 72 Seasons, 2 Reload, 2 Ride the Lightning, 1 Justice, 1 Death Magnetic, 1 Doodle, and then 1 Kill 'Em All. So I think that's a good spread. It's interesting to me that they just announced the Load reissue box set.
Ooh.
But they didn't play anything from Load.
They didn't play any.
No. They played
Fuel
Fuel
is
and The
on
Memory
Reload.
Remains, which are both from Reload.
Memory Remains on Real. Yeah.
And they just released like new music, new live video of 2x4. They just released a new lyric video for Until It Sleeps. Like, and then they just like ignored it completely.
That's have you looked? Have they played like Load songs on this tour?
I have not looked. But they didn't in DC, that's all. Let's see, the Kirk and Rob doodle. So they do something different in every city. So this time they said they were playing something from Death Magnetic, which is only half true. So like I said, I went to the bathroom. I came back and I was kind of like, this sounds familiar, but this isn't Death Magnetic. They played Just a Bullet Away off the EP that came out after Death Magnetic. It has 4 songs. Hate Train is one of them. Like, they're fine, but you can tell it's obvious why they didn't make it onto the album. They're just not as strong as most of those other songs. The Day That Never Comes, I thought, was very good.
But they also did.
But the problem with that song is like the interlude doesn't really make sense. So I think that was the weak part for me of the entire set was just that.
But the Doodle, they also did like a Fugazi song or something.
Yeah. They started with Waiting Room by Fugazi.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's their DC, that's their DC color because they had to play a Fugazi song.
Right. Yeah, Orion was good. I know you want to talk about the stage banter, and this will tie in with the next episode.
Yeah. Well, I think Dave put it best where he said that this was a great advertisement for rehab and how it works. Because like the stage banter was just so friendly and just so positive.
Yeah, and he said stuff like this before, but like they're really leaning into it now.
Really, like Doug, he was just like, "Hey, we're gonna play a song off Kill 'Em All right now," and I think most of the people know the lyrics. But if you don't know, just ask your neighbor, and I'm sure they'll tell you. It's like,
you motherfuckers ready?
no, there's no profanity. And like, we're all boys in men's bodies. Didn't you say something like that?
Yeah. And because it was someone's 16.
It was someone's 16th birthday. And he's like,
we're 16 inside. We're all boys in men's bodies, which is much better than men and boys' bodies. But
and he was talking a lot about like, don't worry, you're almost done. I'm sure mom's getting impatient out in the Prius.
Oh yeah, that was good. So,
and then another thing.
Well, I was picturing Homer outside the Spinal Tap concert.
Oh yeah, like. Another thing he kept doing is calling us all the Metallica family many times, and so I had a coworker who went to the concert as well, and so all around the office today, we've been telling everybody we're in the same family, the Metallica family. And then later after work, I went to a reception, and his wife was there, and I walked up to her and I said, "Hey, did you know we're in the same family?" And she rolled her eyes and said, "The Metallica family."
And I hope you said,
"Yeah." I did say, "Yeah."
So they, another thing he said, was that, I forgot what song it was, but he's like, if you have something dark inside you and some negative stuff or just some energy that you need to get out, take it and give it to us.
Yeah.
Give it back to you. So, which is a theme that shows up in the movie, that we'll be talking about next. So,
or maybe we've already talked about it.
No, I'm going to post this first.
Oh, yeah.
Even though I saw the movie before the concert. But, time is irrelevant.
Yeah, time is a squared circle.
What song is that from?
I don't know.
You want to record an alternate take of that in case you change your mind?
No.
Maximum
All right.
flexibility.
Nope. We'll do it live. Where's that?
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah. It tried to rain all night,
but it didn't.
Yeah, the seats were wet. My feet never dried off until I got home.
I thought that was just because of my excitement about seeing Metallica.
No, that was actually the seat.
Oh,
seats weren't bad. They were like this. They were like regular stadium seats, but they were mesh instead of solid plastic.
Yeah, they're made of like a new polymer or something.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. They had fire.
Yep.
Only came up during fuel, I believe. During one, I was expecting, landmine, but no, they didn't. The one was very good. They're getting older. They're making things different. Like a few of the changes from the standard way of playing things, they've been doing for a long time now, but like they still stick out because I'm not used to them. So in Creeping Death, they rush the second accent. Da, 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 da. That's on purpose. I don't know why, but that's not how it is on the album. One, instead of doing straight 16th triplets during the fast part, they hit the accent on one and then pick it up on the upbeat. So you only get 4 of the 6.
Is that just?
I'm wondering.
Play?
Well, that's a good question. I know Lars has been having a problem doing that.
Yeah.
Like back in 2018 when I saw them, his kicks were But that could have just been an off day, he was in Pittsburgh at the time, and I'd be sad and unable to perform if I were in Pittsburgh.
Okay,
so believe me, it's happened. That's why we haven't gone back in a while. So
too many nice people around and like nice things to do. It sucks.
Oh yeah,
nice
I forgot
things to do.
He's a Pittsburgh apologist.
Nice things.
It's like
to
one
do.
of the 19 cities that Doug is like claims is the best city in America.
Well, he likes cities that used to be good.
Are good, Tim. Are good.
Anyway, so they, it might be the drums have fallen off, so they've switched up the guitars to match it. I don't know. I don't think it's easier to play, but also I was reading an interview with Gary Holt from Exodus, and he was saying like his wrist sounds like a cement mixer now because of playing thrash for 4 decades.
I'm sure.
So maybe it's that. Dave pointed out that Lars on his Instagram is always wearing a wrist brace after his shows.
Oh no.
After Metallica shows. But like multiple times we saw him punch a cymbal with his fist. Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
probably
you
why
should
he has
stop
to wear
doing
that.
that.
I noticed in some of the close-ups, like Kirk is wearing also like a carpal tunnel brace or something. I do like
I thought that was just like his shirt that he was wearing under his Jaguar print jacket.
No, I mean he had his mom's jacket on, but but he also had like a didn't Kirk even say no, James said something like Mr. Animal Man, Print Man. But he had something. He had like those like sleeves that have like the thummy sleeves. But he had something else. He had some other kind of like adaptive brace on.
Yeah, I mean they're in their 60s.
Yeah,
they're doing intricate stuff night after night after night. So with their wrists,
I don't blame them.
I mean, whatever gets them through it. I noticed Trujillo did the old things he used to do that I don't think I saw him do the past few times I've seen them. One was like getting down into the crab.
Oh yeah, I did see him do that.
He did. I only saw him do it once at the show. And also he did the thing where he spins around like an idiot and plays the bass where it's like sticking out. Like leave that to Yannick Gers. So I can direct all my hate at him. I don't like it, but Trujillo only did it once, so I'll forgive him. During Seek and Destroy.
Notably a song about a serious topic.
Right. What happened? You tell it.
What happened, Doug? All right, we're going to play a game called Doug Makes the Call. So, all right, Doug, you're producing a stage show in a stadium. They're going to play Seek and Destroy. They billboarded this as a song from Kill 'Em All. He said, who wants to hear a song from Kill 'Em All? It's called Seek and Destroy. They begin to play Seek and Destroy. And I would say halfway through, or maybe even a little before, the little towers open up. And what comes out, Doug?
Beach balls.
Metallica beach balls. Like 3 meters across.
Yeah, they're fucking huge.
So it was like the Rovers from The Prisoner.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Those only they all kind of ended up towards Lars. And it was funny because Lars had stagehands standing by to bat the balls away from the drum kit.
I was also remarked at the number of them that popped. I would say it's at least 20%.
And also when they opened the thing, all the rain that had collected in there also came out.
I think everyone down there just got drenched from all the rain that was covering the Metallica balls.
Anyway, yeah, it was a good show. And then we had to trudge a mile and a half back to the metro.
But it didn't feel
it's
that
not
bad.
a hard walk. It's just a long walk.
Very long walk.
And like going through that, like probably in the winter, if people are still going to Commanders games that late into the season.
Cold.
Yeah. And our September heat waves, it just seems like sucks. You can make a shuttle. You can do a shuttle from that parking lot or something, like anything. How about that? Yeah. And I was looking for the bootleg shirt guy on the way back, and I even bummed 20 $20 off my dad. I was like, I'm going to offer the bootleg shirt guy $20 for a shirt. Take it or leave it. But there was only one of them and he was swamped. So we kept walking. I was like looking for the next one. I gave dad the $20 back. So
that was good of you.
Yeah, without interest though.
Oh, well, I mean, that's fair.
What was the crowd like at the show?
Mostly white dudes, but not exclusively white dudes. There was all
Metal
ages.
white dudes or hard rock white dudes?
Both.
I'd say 50-50, but I would say there's always a solid like Latino contingent.
Oh yeah. Yep. There were, I heard all sorts of accents.
How many people there were younger than 30? Younger than 20 even?
I mean, I wouldn't say I would say the majority of people were in that nice like 25 to 50 demo that the advertisers like. I'd say maybe a quarter were younger, maybe a quarter were older. Probably less older, but there's some old guys there. There's some young guys there. Women, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty mixed crowd.
Yeah, more than usual. Let's put it this way: the only people who were into Pantera.
Yeah. Well, actually, you know what? That is interesting. I feel like the people who were listening to Pantera versus waiting for them to get off the stage was a true mark of like the hard rock guys. 'Cause I think the only people who were really into Pantera at that point were the hard rock guys.
Yeah, like Godsmack, Pantera, and Metallica are all at the same level.
If you're pining for the summer sanitarium tour, you're up front for Pantera.
This is a different episode, but I was at Summer Sanitarium.
Oh, nice.
And it was the most miserable I have been at a concert because I had to sit through 4 horrible acts and one fucking moron named Kid Rock until I finally got to see Metallica. And that show actually like restored my faith in Metallica at the time. This was pre-Saint Anger because I didn't like I Disappear until I heard it live. And then I understood I Disappear. I'm like, oh, I get it. So,
is that the Baltimore show?
Yeah, that was the Baltimore show, which is that whole show's on YouTube, by the way.
Nice. Oh, wow. Yep. They called it PSI Net Stadium.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, it was a good time. I don't think I have anything else to say about it. I will give this 5 Jameses.
Yeah!
Out of 5?
There's the 5th. There's the 5th was small. Here it is.
Yeah!
All right, and a bonus.
Yeah!
There you go.
I would agree. I think this is a 5 James show. I mean,
are you giving it 5 as well?
Giving it 5 Jameses. Very fair.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, until next time, Metal Nation, if you need your life saved, look into Metallica. And because that's the subject of our next episode. Until next time, Metal Nation.
Cast them down.
Oh, sorry, you'll have to forgive me. I can't hear a damn thing. Went to a rock concert last night at the Garden. My seats were right up against the speaker. It's a heavy metal group, Metallica something.
Ka.
Huh?
What? Ka.
My ears are still ringing. Some woman's idea of a joke.